Good morning. This is Ritesh Mathur, the Department of Mechanical Engineering from Arya College of Engineering and IT, Jaipur. In this lecture, we will discuss the basic concepts related the plane truss. So first of all, what do you mean by a truss? So a structure made up of several bars or members riveted or welded together is known as truss. If the members of the structure are hinged or pin joined, then the structure is known as frame. Now there are various types of frame. The basic thing to decide what are the different types of frame is the equation n equals to 2j minus 3, where n is number of members and j is number of joint. If it satisfy the equation n equals to 2j minus 3, then it is the frame will be perfect frame. But if it does not satisfy, means n left hand side is not equals to the right hand side, then it will be the imperfect frame. If left hand side is less than your right hand side, means that is n is less than 2j minus 3, then the frame is deficient frame. And when the left hand side is greater than the right hand side, that is n is greater than 2j minus 3, then the type of frame will be your redundant frame. There are some assumptions for forces in the members of a perfect frame. Number 1, all the members are pin jointed. Number 2, the frame is loaded only at the joints. Third one, the frame is a perfect one. And number 4 is that the self weight of the member are negligible until unless it is given. Okay. Now there are assumptions for forces in the members of a perfect frame, that a truss is held in position by supports and the loads are applied only at joints. So the free body diagram of a member shows that it is acted upon by two equal and opposite forces. The hinge joints permits member to rotate with respect to each other, and hence the members are subjected to pure axial force only. So there are only two types of force. One is your tension and other one is your compression. Suppose a member is acted upon by the tension force, then the direction of force will be, it will goes away from the center. As you can see that there are two joints. In the left hand side it is in the tensile force, so the uh, T, that is your tensile force, will be away from the center, as well as on the right hand side the T, the horizontal force, will be acted away from the center uh, to the left. Then for the compression, it acts just like this, that the direction of force will be towards the center. Okay, so the convention for the internal force, the action of force in the member of the joints are as shown. As I told you earlier that in the tension, the direction of force is away from the center, and from the compression it is towards the center. So there are two methods to analysis the forces. One is your method of joint and other one is your method of section. These two methods we will discuss in the next lecture. But for both the method, the sign convention used are positive sign is used for the tension and the negative sign is used for compression. As well as the clockwise movement is taken as positive and the anti-clockwise movement is taken as negative. Now the first thing that you will have to find out the zero force member, that is in the member where the force is zero. So there are different cases. So first one is when two of the three members meeting at a joint are collinear, then no load is acting at the joint, then the force in the third member is zero. As shown in figure, at joint A, the forces F are collinear and the third force is your perpendicular. So the force in the third member, which is a perpendicular one, is a zero force member, means there is no force in that particular member. Second case, when two members meet at a joint and where no load is acting, then the force in those members are zero. As shown in the figure, at joint A there are only two forces, not the third one. uh, they may be at any angle, but the forces in these two members will be 0. Okay. Now suppose there is a joint at which there is a support reaction, okay, that is Va. So as shown in figure, the Va and the force F, these are collinear, and the third one is the perpendicular one. So again the force in that member will also equals to 0. Okay, so that's all about this. Thank you.